As we all know, most products are produced with a planned obsolescence timestamp. This is due to the business model of manufacturers where goods are bought. If instead these physical goods were sold as a service, there will be an incentive for manufacturers to make high-quality products, which are repairable, upgradable, and which have a long lifetime. The Internet of Things is an enabling technology for this. Our next speaker is Daniel Lux, CEO and co-founder at Seluxit. Welcome, Damien. Welcome, Daniel, to our Circular Economy Forum.
Yes, thank you. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we do.
Perfect. Then I will try to share my screen here. So we can jump right in. Can you see my screen?
Absolutely.
Perfect. Okay, thank you for having me. And I hope there's still people awake at this late time. You know, in Denmark, we're not used to work that late, and it's very dark here. So
we have a lot of people connected.
Well, let's jump straight in. Firstly, a very short thing about Seluxit. So we were founded in 2006, already at that time with the aim to save energy. We are based in Aalborg in Denmark, and we call ourselves a full-service IoT provider. And our speciality is to actually help our customers very quickly into the market. Of the maybe most famous of our customers, it's the Husqvarna Group with the Gardena, which is a subsidiary. And there we actually enable robotic lawn mowers that drive and mow your lawn, and you can control them from your mobile phone. Our largest customer has been since 2009, Innogy, the German utility, which is now a part of E.ON, also a German utility provider. And then for the ones within the electricity business, we have a lot of electricity manufacturers, metering manufacturers as customers. And we had a small Italian project with Cura, which was ICU units in containers where we monitor these containers, which was connected to the COVID crisis. But this is about the circular economy. And our view is that IoT can really help enabling the circular economy. The traditional manufacturers of machines and non-consumables, they have a CAPEX, a capital expense business model, where you buy your car or you buy your machine. And this means that basically you get a fixed ownership. The person transfers all the rights to the product, and the company making these products, they're earning on the product sales. That's why for them it is usually interesting to cut the cost as much as possible of these products, and basically often plan for obsolescence to say, okay, when will this product fail so that my customer will buy a new one, a replacement. That also means the quality is a bit poorer. Many of these products are not repairable, and at the end of life, they will be dumped. There's no recycling in mind because designing for recycling is actually more expensive. Now, if you go towards an operational expense paradigm, this will also enable the circular economy because you will be able to share a product. So maybe I only need my car at some points in time. Maybe I can share it with others. Maybe I don't need my machine for blowing fibers all the time. I only need it during a certain time where a telco is rolling out fibers in my area. When you also can monitor how much has my product been used, I can also change my business model, because now I will be able to say, I produced so many goods, and therefore you have to pay for the time you've had the product plus for the number of goods that were produced. And you can improve your products over time. Better quality is actually a good thing, because now you can repair it. And if your own product doesn't break down, your revenue will actually be improved as the one offering the service. That means the product should also be repairable. And at the end of life, maybe if you can recycle it, just like the very good presentation from Holland about this marketplace, you can then start recycling this. So IoT enables OpEx-based business models, because you can see how much was my product used and how long was it used. IoT can help extend the lifetime of products because you can fix actually the products on remote. You can roll out new functionalities, and you can also, when you put in new parts, you can adapt the software in order to be adapted to the new functionality. And IoT can enable reusing existing products for new purposes, because sometimes a product like a phone can be repurposed in another setting. So if you have, for example, a washing machine, what you want is you want washed clothes. To be honest, there has not been much innovation in washing machines. But these washing machines are often planned for obsolescence. If you pay 200 euros, it will be about a bit more than 2 years because you have these guarantee laws. If you pay 300 euros, it will last about 3 years. However, if you built it really sturdy and said, okay, you pay 10 euros a month, this would mean the manufacturer of the washing machine will get a revenue stream which is recurring, and the customer will always get a working washing machine. So he does not suddenly, oh no, my washing machine is broken down and now I don't have the money for the 300 euros to buy a new one. So having this for the consumer is also interesting. And you can make new revenue streams, maybe not on the washing machine, but maybe on some of the other devices where you could use data which comes from your device in another setting, in another vertical. I will get into that in a bit. And you can do cost reduction because the less maintenance, because you have a better quality and because you detect even small errors in your machine, you can have a small repair instead of a large repair. Think of, for example, a small rubber fitting in your motor. If you fix it, it's 10 euros to fix. If you don't fix it, your whole engine might actually break down, and that will be a very expensive fix. So you can get longer life out of IoT because Tesla does this actually very impressively. They have a lot of software. They put in all these sensors into their cars. And then as the software matures, they actually roll out new functionality. I have a Tesla and I can buy an autopilot. It's not so fantastic yet, but it's improving very fast. And some features may or may not be legal, but then they can remove them or update them so they become legal, and they can increase efficiency. Maybe someone finds out that charging your battery in a different way actually prolongs the life of the battery. Now, by having IoT in your car, you can actually update your software and improve that way. So you get continuously improving products. You have the predictive maintenance, where you will see from small changes in your car that you will detect which ones will cause some defects and then repair them before they get aggravated. And in the end, you can build better products because you know how your customers are actually using your products. And of course, you can also check for liability. You can say, I'm not going to repair your car because you crashed it into a wall, and I can see this from the G sensor. So upcycling of products, and this is one of the rather dull products, which we all know, an electricity meter. Most electricity companies are looking at cases where they need information from the meter for billing. But there's so much more cases which are much more interesting in these electricity meters. So this is a very pixelated picture, so don't worry, your screen is okay. And I'm sure not many people will recognize what this is. But maybe if you look a bit closer, or you step a bit away from your screen, or you make this picture very small, then you might see this is a very famous building. It's in the US, and it is actually the White House. But this shows how much more you can see by increasing the resolution. But can you see who's standing on the balcony? Oh, it's our friend with the red tie. I'm not going to say anything positive or negative about him, but this shows that when you get up in resolution of your electricity, then you will see much more detail, and this detail can enable new business cases. This is the electricity consumption of my house. here in Denmark, and it is over New Year 1 year ago, and we were not at home, but we rent out our house to some friends, and you could see they came back at about 1 o'clock at night, and then they maybe made some food, they went to sleep, and then they left. And then 2 days later, we came back, and then in the evening, we started doing the dishwashing and washing clothes and stuff like you do when you come back from holiday. So what this actually means is you can see activity in the house. So, but where could you actually use this activity? Well, you can use it to check on grandma. Is grandma doing well? Does she make coffee? Does she make tea? Does she switch on the light? Does she switch off the TV? If she doesn't do that, something is wrong. This is not as good and not immediate as a wristband or a fall detection device, but this is not very intrusive. And this is actually data which is easily attained if you have high resolution data from a smart meter. Now think of using also water. Then you can see, was this a big flush? Was this a small flush? And then you can see toilet patterns. And actually you will be able in the future with AI, you can say, oh, here is some anomaly. Maybe this person is developing diabetes. Or you can see that a person is becoming more and more active during night. That is often a sign of dementia. So you can actually start detecting early illnesses and send the person to the doctor just to have him or her checked up. So this is kind of a new context for predictive, not maintenance, but predictive care. And this is a much more high value business case than actually the billing of the electricity. So another thing is, we all know them, our smartphones. Occasionally they fall down. This one I fell off my bike and the screen is broken, but otherwise it works perfectly. It can compute, it can communicate, you can call. So what we did is we made an app for smartphones which have broken screens. If you still can install something, this one you can put and connect to a screen. Well, then you install it and you can now use it as a sensor, an IoT sensor. For example, a phone has a vibration sensor, so you can collect vibration data. But a phone also has a GPS, so you can now use it as a tracker device. And often you don't need specific things. These phones are actually very rugged and have a lot of functionality in them. Why waste them? Why not try to give a phone a second life in such a setting where you just install an app and start sending data to an IoT platform, which you then can use in data analytics and to see in graphs and track your devices. And that was my, I hope, 12 minutes or something. So thank you for having me. And